Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the show tonight. John G. Jones Research Lodge number 147. Just want to send a big shout out to my frat, Beta Psi Phi Incorporated. Here you go, Alpha Zeta chapter. To President Isham Boyd, Washington D.C. How you doing this evening? And to everyone who's going to be coming on tonight, we're going to be talking about the dark side of Freemasonry. The dark side of Freemasonry. We talk about a lot of things, but we don't usually talk about that other side of Freemasonry because there is the yin and the yang. There is another side of Freemasonry that most of us don't like to talk about because most of us don't go and dabble and read into those things because Freemasonry presents to you this good old boys fashion club, social group. They present that to you. It's cool. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. But we're going to talk about another side of Freemasonry that's hardly ever talked about, and that is the dark side of Freemasonry. And some may be wondering and asking, what is this dark side of Freemasonry? What is you talking about? What do you see that is considered to be this dark side of Freemasonry? Well, I'm here to tell you. If you don't know, now you know there is a dark side of Freemasonry. Now, people can say whatever they want to say in regards to Freemasonry, how good it is and pleasant to brothers to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ornament upon the beard that ran down to the skirt. You can quote all of that. You can quote, remember that I created in the days that I used while the evil days come not. When he should, you can quote all of that. You know, Amos, what God laid a plumb line. You can quote all of that. But let me tell you, there's another side of Freemasonry that most people don't want to talk about because they feel that it's the boogeyman. They scared to death. You know, when they hear it. You know, we hear all. If you are a person that watches a lot of stuff on YouTube, greetings to everybody who's come along. Brother Morgan Montgomery, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for the shout out. 357. Brother Jonathan, thank you. I appreciate it. Rogers, thank you for everybody that's coming on. So, we hear it, when people say, well, you ain't high enough. You don't know what goes on in the higher degrees. You don't know. There's some legitimate stuff to that. There is some legitimate, I'm telling you, there is some legitimate to that. There is something that you really have to take a look at. And I'm going to share something with you. And then after I share it with you, you go look it up and see what I'm talking about. Because most of us don't pay attention to what actually occurs around us and about us. We're so excited with the day-to-day activity to we're not really paying attention to a lot of things. But I'm here to tell you there's another side to Freemasonry. If you have ever gone, I tell you what, a brother who's been initiated in Haiti, as far as Freemasonry is concerned, ask him about Freemasonry over in Haiti versus Freemasonry here in the States. You can ask people who are from other countries in regards to Freemasonry and the way they are initiated and the way they look at Freemasonry versus the way you see Freemasonry. See, here in the United States, we see Freemasonry as this huge organization. You're donating money to different places and for great causes, and you're doing this and you're doing that. Freemasonry over in other countries, oh man, it's a whole nother ball game. Politics, you name it, they're involved with it. I don't care what you say. The ideal is most of us don't go looking at that. We okay where we're at. But I'm here to tell you, there's another side to Freemasonry that you need to really start considering and start to look at. John Harrison, my apologies for messing up his name, clearly says that the Scottish Rite Volume 1 and 2 is an anti-Masonic rituals. I don't think they are. I can agree to disagree, say I don't like some of the things that person is saying. But once you begin to look and read for yourself, even Albert Pike's Maul and Dogma, pick that up. and begin to read it, and you would begin to indulge in another side of Freemasonry. And there is that side that is ugly. You know, you could take anything and flip it and make it ugly. You can really do that. And I'm going to share with you some of the things that has taken place in Freemasonry that most people didn't really pay close attention to, because it just happened and they was like, oh, okay, all right, okay. They didn't see it coming from that point of view. But I would tell you this, Freemasonry doesn't get all of the glit and glow that it once was receiving. But let me tell you, there's still a lot in glit and glow. It's still beautiful. It's still a lot of things that's happening because people are Freemasons. It is just that simple. Most people don't like to talk about it, but I'm here to actually, let's have that conversation about the other side of Freemasonry. So as above, so below. Let's talk about that side of Freemason that most of us don't want to talk about. Hey, tonight's number is going to be 619-985-1184. So if you want to call in tonight, you're certainly welcome to do so. And greetings to everybody that's coming on. How you doing, Michael Foster? Appreciate you coming on tonight and spending that time with us. We're just going to talk about another side of Freemason that most people don't like to talk about. Because it's really kind of unspoken. If you've ever traveled outside of the country, you can't wear anything of Masonic regalia in other countries. You can't. Don't wear a ring, nothing showing that you are a Mason. You will be put to death. That's a fact. I know of brothers who are in military, and some of you probably can even vouch for that if you've been in military. They have traveled outside of the United States. They have been told, when you leave the boat, please do not put anything on Masonically. Babylon, sex and symbolism. Oh my goodness. Greetings to everybody that's coming on. We need to really start taking a look at this thing. What is the secrets? Is that what you want to know? Oh my goodness. If I told you, I had to kill you. I can't tell you. Simple as that. So we're going to get right into it. So I want you to think about something. It happened a few years ago, and everybody's seen it, but nobody said anything about it. No one said anything about it. I don't know if it went over some individual, it went over their heads. I don't know. But I'm going to share this with you. You recall when President Clinton was president, and he was brought up on charges, and they was going through the impeachment process. And I don't know if you've ever looked into Bill Clinton's background. Bill Clinton is a demolayer for life. For any of us who know about the youth group of the demolayers, it's a youth group under the Grand Lodges of State, and they're in this youth group up until they turn about 18. And then they go on to become Masons. But the demolays are yes, this is true for military. So I just want to make sure, brother. I'm just want to make sure. We call it you need to stop, brother Lord. So Bill Clinton is a demolayer, okay? A demolay. He's part of the demolay, okay, which is a youth organization under the state Grand Lodges, all right? Now, you remember when President Clinton was going through this impeachment process. And if you recall, Trent Lott, who's the 33rd from Mississippi, very, very famous Mason back in Mississippi. He's a 33rd. He was the Speaker of the House at that time, if I'm not mistaken. That he was the Speaker of the House. His job was to put together the impeachment committee to look at impeaching President Clinton. You remember, because he said he didn't sleep with that woman? Play on words. Words, man. Words are very important. Words are so important. But he said that he did not sleep with that woman. So they were saying, well, he lied. He lied. Technically, what he said, he didn't lie. But, that's for another show. So when he started the impeachment process, go back and look at the people that he selected to be on the committee to impeach the president. That's what I want you to do for yourself. 6 other individuals that he had on the committee for the impeachment of the president of the United States, Bill Clinton, were Freemasons, including himself. He had Republicans and he had Democrats. And mind you, Bill Clinton, a Demolayer for life. If you don't believe me, go look him up. He's in the Hall of Fame for Demolay. And you will find him there. So you tell me, how is it that a Republican, Republicans and Democrats, that's oil and water, baby. It didn't happen, did it? I'm just saying, it didn't happen. Trent Lott, 33rd, selected the committee to impeach the president. Didn't happen. Look at the individual that he selected on the impeachment committee. And you'll know why it didn't happen. So when people be talking about things happening at a high level that we know nothing about, there is some legitimacy to that. There is. Now, you could sit back and say, Brother Hawkins, you losing your mind, you know what you're talking about. But let me tell you this here. Look at it from this point of view. If you have individuals who are part of the same organization, I don't care what it is. It can be Omega, Sigmas, Betas, you name it. If they are a part of the same organization, they're in the same field, right? Same company, same organization. What do you think they're going to do for each other? What do you think? This is the other side of Freemasonry nobody likes to talk about. I don't care how much of clandestine you may call an individual, but once that person shows you that he is a Mason, more than likely, if you work on a job together, and it's just one of them jobs, it ain't many where you and he are at, you know what I mean? You and him are going to team up. You are going to do that. So this is why I say we need to be careful in regards to Freemasonry in a sense. And when I say that, because there are things that take place around us that we don't pay attention to, and it happens. It happens. The ideal is do we recognize it when it happens? Do you see it happening and then just sit back at awe that it is? I know I've done it. So how many of you recall the time, you can look this up for yourself. This happened about 5 or 6 years ago out of the Grand Lodge, I want to say the Grand Lodge in New York. And there was an initiation. Okay? Now, this is what happens according to what I've read. The gentleman, during the initiation, they put a can on top of this individual's head. And they wanted to know if this brother was going to trust them. Well, the individual in the lodge was supposed to pull out a cap gun, but he pulled out a real gun. He eventually ends up shooting this guy, right, and killing him. Now, let's just be real. Anybody know what happened to that story? We know that the Grand Lodge of New York said, hey, this is a clandestine lodge. We know nothing about it. They're not part of us. That's what they said. After that, do anybody have an idea about what happened to that lodge or the individuals in that lodge? Anybody? I'm just saying, you need to look at some things that are happening around us that we don't pay any attention to. He was acquitted by a jury. Yeah, he was acquitted by a jury. He was. You just need to look and see who was on the damn jury. Who served on the jury? Now, it was Trent Lott, and Trent Lott picked the jury. Absolutely. Trent Lott picked the jury. Go check that out. I got a friend that's a Mason on a job. I work. He owes me nothing. I just want to see a black man make money. No ties needed. We black first. Never said we wasn't. I never said we wasn't. But the bond, see, brothers, do we pay attention to what we say when we say it? back and read that obligation. Go back and read it and see about that bond. Yeah, we black first. You won't get that argument out of me. I'm always happy to see a brother come up. I am. But when that brother is a Mason, I'm just saying, go back and read your oath, your obligation, see what it says in all 3 degrees. Because apparently we're missing something. We're really missing something. Because I've gone back and read it, and I'm at awe. I'm at awe at the simple fact of the things I said I would and wouldn't do. And then even in that 3rd degree, there is something that is very important that I think some of us tend to miss, and we take these things lightly. But we need to go back and check it out. It is very important that you do that, you know? Even in your 2nd degree, you have a triple. In your 2nd degree, it says you have a double tie. You have a double tie. Your 3rd degree, it says you have a triple tie. Now go back and check out the triple tie. See what that triple tie is all about. And then you'll be able to grasp what I'm trying to say, because trust me, there is a dark side to Freemasonry, just like anything else. The reason I say this is because I was talking to a young man from Haiti who was a Mason. And the things he was telling me, I was lost for words. I didn't go through anything like that. I hadn't experienced anything like that. And what I want to is the question. And I don't know. But I do know that overseas in some parts in the world, Freemasonry carries a very, very heavy stick. It does. See, anything can be used. The energy of anything can be used to do whatever you want it to do. So as above, so as below. So anything, listen to me. Anything the energy of anything can be used. This is why they say so above, so as below. That's why it's done that way. So we have to be able to take that and really look at it. Some still drink wine out of the skull. It is not the worst possible thing. Some do. And it's not the worst possible thing. You're right. It may not be the worst possible thing to me, but when you see how other people do it in other countries, you may be at awe. It may be a little bit more than drinking wine out of the skull. What if it was blood? What if they was drinking blood out of the skull? Then what would you have to say then? Because the more I read and the more I talk to various people, I'm finding out that masonry that I practice, masonry that I deal with is different than where they at. Some strange things happens. I'm just saying. I got one for you. How many of you remember that lodge called P2 Lodge? The P2 Lodge over in Italy. It was a Masonic lodge. Under what jurisdiction? I don't know. They say it was a clandestine lodge, but no, I don't think it was. They was doing too much. Hey, Brother Alex Fitzgerald, go back and check those individuals out that was on that grand jury that you said that he wasn't found guilty. He was acquitted. Go back and check that out. Look at the individuals and look at their background. This is true. There are 3 letters and 4 letters at my job, and we all get along as 5-letter Mason. Well, you should. You should. You know, somewhere along the line, I was told that I was whisper good counsel. I would inform a brother of approaching danger. It didn't distinguish what race or color that person was, because masonry, as we often like to say, it has no color in it. It is colorblind, which is a lie. But however, if you're going to hold true to the contents of Freemasonry, this is what you're going to get. It's going to go beyond your 3-letter argument. It's going to go beyond that. And that argument is for kids. That 5 and 3-letter argument, that argument is for kids. I'm talking grown folks shit, all right? That's what I'm talking. So if you really want to get down with Freemasonry, you're going to have to step your game up and talk above the 3 and 4-letter thing. That's for beginners. That's for people who come into Freemasonry and they think it's a game. They think they want to do some other stuff. That's them. I'm talking to grown folks who's been around for a while. And even those individuals who are in it now and see it for a different reason and see it differently than it was when they first came in. Because I'm telling you, not just from my own experience, but probably from some of your experience in talking with various people, and especially if you've been in the military. You know, if you've been in the military, and as I said before, when you get off that boat, there are some countries you cannot wear Masonic regalia in that country. You can't. They won't have it. You have to ask yourself why. You know, if this organization is all about fraternal and brotherly love, relief and truth and charity, you got to ask yourself why in some countries they fear Masons. They don't want to hear nothing about it. And if they find out you won, they'll probably have you killed. That's another side of Freemason that nobody wants to talk about. Just like the Lodge P2 that was over in Italy. If you look that lodge up, man, they was doing some heavy stuff. You know, if you ever have the chance, go look up P2 Lodge over in Italy. Tell me how they was getting away with murder and money laundering and a whole lot of things. There was a Masonic lodge. Some say they was a clandestine lodge because they didn't belong to any particular jurisdiction. That's what some say. But I beg to differ on that. You know, the elite in corrupt countries are Masons. Well, look at what happened over in the Philippines about 3 or 4 years ago. All of them were Masons. All of the individuals in the Philippines were part of the Grand Lodge of the Philippines. Now there are 2 Grand Lodges over in the Philippines. One is recognized by the United States and one isn't. So when people began to talk about Freemasonry, Freemasonry has so many branches. So many, it is what it is. The ideal is can you navigate your way through it? You know, are you able to do that? And Brother Fitzgerald, you're absolutely right. The elite in like you said, I agree. You said the elite in corrupt countries are Masons. But why would they want to be so corrupt? That would be my question, because Masonry doesn't teach you to be corrupt. It doesn't. But we find that it is what it is, just like you put it. And if you ever had a chance, read up on or get yourself one of those, I seen it, but I couldn't have it. If you know a brother from overseas, especially Haiti, I keep saying Haiti for a particular reason, but if you know of brothers over in Haiti who are Masons, talk to them about their initiation. It ain't nothing like you go through. It's similar. It's similar. Yeah. And that's about it. They get down with the get down. When you leave there, you gonna ain't nobody putting no board, no hands on you. It's just different. It's just different. You know, if you know anything about Haiti, you know, where the real revolution took place at, if you know anything about their culture and what they deal in, a lot of them deal in voodoo, even though some may be Christian, then you would understand exactly where I'm coming from when I talk about their initiation process. If you get enough people behind you, anyone can be a Mason. Oh, bruh, you said if you get enough people behind you, anyone can be a Mason. I can't go with that one. I can't. At what point does it stop being Masonry? Well, first of all, I need to ask you, are you a Mason? Because for me to answer that question, I need to know, are you a Mason? What's that? Okay. Cocaine Blitz. Oh my God. What a name. Yeah. Good evening, Brother Michael White. Welcome aboard. So therefore, Masonry is used as a what? Poor people in corrupt countries despite the elite and blame them for conditions within the country. That's why they hate Masonry. I can see that from various points of views. I can see that. You know, you speak truth, and you do. It's plain and simple. You speak truth. You know, Masonry was like that in this country years ago, and it's still that way in some areas. But for the most part, years ago, when Masonry was at its peak, it was like that. You know, Masonry is not at its peak anymore like it once was. It is not that organization that has very high standards as it once had a long time ago. You know, brother, I totally understand you. Have a have a close brother from Haiti in the Grand Lodge of New Jersey. You're absolutely correct. I'm just saying, you know, when that brother told me about his initiation, this is what I did. I just looked at him. What am I gonna say? He gripped me, password me, we carded each other, we had the conversation. But when we got to talking about the experiences initiation, that's where we differ. That's where we differ. But that's the beauty about Freemasonry, is being able to talk to individuals outside of your country in regards to their process, in regards to your process. And you will then learn that your process is totally different. And here's another true story. So there was some brothers that was being initiated. This is what they did. I could tell you exactly how it went down. All right. I'm not going to tell you what lodge or jurisdiction, but I could tell you exactly what happened. This brother was standing outside. He didn't know that he was getting ready to be initiated that night. Our car drove up. They kidnapped him. All right. All they heard was screaming. The car sped off. Right. Zoom, zoom, zoom. He didn't know what was happening. He was blindfolded. They hook winked him. They took him on and they did their thing. The ideal is somebody saw that. They called the police. Helicopters out, everything. All right. The police finds out where they're at. When they found out where they was at, they understood what was happening. They dispersed. They didn't ask no questions. They dispersed. This was a true story. It was told to me by the lodge that did it. I was like, are you serious? That actually happened. That actually happened. It happened in California. For real. It happened in California. Sure did. Down the south of the border, California. South of the border, California. All right? You know where that's at. Good evening. What's up, Brother Darnell? Welcome aboard. Masonry was a really focused on the esoteric pure Morgan affairs, but it all changed after that to protect the craft. It did. Now, I don't know. I've heard about that story myself, but I don't know how true that story is. I've read about it in various books. I heard that was the turn to everything became anti-Masonry. You know, it was just crazy at one point, even in the United States, in regards to Masonry and the participation of what they was all about. It's not what you know, it's who you know. Makes a lot more sense now at 31. That's true, Malcolm. To a point. You're right. You know, I was told that from an early age, you know, but it's always good to have a trade. You catch that on the way home. You catch that on the way home. Oh, no doubt about it. Can I please have one of Can I please have a 101 talk with you? Give me, okay, all right. Freddie Gray, yeah, we can do that. I tell you what. Ah, dang it. I don't even have it anymore. I don't know what I did with it. I have a 1-800 number, but sheesh, my phone lost all the contacts in it, and that number was in it. I have to find it. But look, if you want to call me after the show tonight, Freddie, Gray, you can do that. Okay? If you want to call me after the show tonight, you can do that. I'm gonna put the number up for you to have, and just give me a call tonight. I'm okay with it. You can call in now or call after the show. It's fine with me. So however you want to do it. But I'll tell you this. My book, I've been reading it again. And the more I read, the more things I find out. I'm like, this is some crazy shit. I am so for real. The more I read and I find out various things from the books I have, the more I'm like, I'm gonna tell you, brothers and sisters, if we took our time and went back and read the very thing that we was making that obligation, that oath, I don't know how many of us would really do it. I don't know. I mean, I go back and I read it and I'm like, really? It gets deep. But masonry is like that. Let's go back. Okay, when you think of masonry, at least when I think of it, I'm thinking about the ancient craft. And when I say the ancient craft, I mean those individuals who really upheld the oath. You know, not the symbolism thing. I'm talking about they did you in accordingly to the obligation. Think about that. Think about if it was really happening now. You know, what you say you would have those things we talked about. If those things was happening now, if you seen somebody who was done that way, what would you think? How would you feel? Because I know from talking my brother-in-law is a French. The way he ghostly spooky, but spooky in a sense is like, God damn, type of spooky, It's that sort of thing. The most I said, don't take oath. Oh, come on, man. Come on, look, Malcolm, I'm gonna tell you this here. If you are a Christian, Malcolm, you was initiated to be a Christian. And I must show you how it happened. You had to do a few things in order to become a Christian. And this was your initiation. Pay no attention to it because most of us don't look at it from that point of view. Here you go. You want to accept Christ as your Lord and Savior? Raise your hand. You do that. Come on up. You come up. Do you have a church home? I used to. Well, we're going to see and we're going to welcome you into our home since you no longer have a church home over on 39th and whatever street you was on. But now you're coming over here to fellowship with us, right? It is by your experience as being a Christian, right? So if you didn't have that experience of being baptized, right? That's number one. Accepting Christ as your Lord and Savior. That's number two. Those are requirements that you have to have in order to be a Christian. And not only that, check this out. Every first Sunday, you're going to drink the wine and eat the body. You ain't been initiated? You have just been initiated, son. You're drinking the wine, right? Drink the wine, blood of my blood. Do this in remembrance of me. The wine represents blood. The bread represents the body. So you eat and you drink the blood of Christ. Take this in some churches, classes in some churches, right? We're going to get to know how this church operates, rules, and its bylaws. to be a part of. That's what it is. Christ was never a Christian. Never said he was. Come on now. Think about that for a minute. Absolutely, you take an oath with God. And let me tell you just how deep it gets for some of us. If you've ever been in a situation in your life and you believe in God, what you going to say? Lord, if you get me out of this, I promise. Oh, I promise I'm not going to do it no more. Just get me out of this. That's an oath. You promise. No, come on, don't do that. Sit there and you drink the blood and you eat the body of Christ. You're being initiated. You have been initiated. You've been baptized. Come on, learn about the group that Christ hung around. It was a society. He hung around the. I'm going to mess the word up, but for those of you who can pronounce the word a lot better than I can, put it up there. The Nazarenes, the Essenes or Nazarenes, or the Nazarenes, something like that. He was part of that group, and that group was considered a society. They taught two things. They taught in public. They hung around the priest, and then they taught amongst themselves. Okay? Now, as we know, Christ had 12 disciples. It was more disciples than the 12, but he had 12 that he hung around. And out of that 12, there was 5 that was in his circle that he confided in more than the 12 because he knew they'd get down. Huh? They knew that. So when you talk about, come on now, I'm just saying, just look at it for what it is. Now, if you really want to get down, you really want to have an understanding of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. The Father is man. The Holy Spirit is the woman, and the child that they bring forth is the son or daughter. That's how that rolls. Because you can't get here unless you come through the mother. They're the only somebody that can reproduce, and you need the Father. And they're going to produce a son or a daughter, bar none. That's it. You can take that and let it alone. It ain't nothing personal. It's just what it is. Call in number tonight, 619-985-1184. You're certainly welcome to call in. I'm up, I'm live, and we can have this conversation tonight. The dark side of Freemasonry, because there is a dark side to Freemasonry. And if you ever decide to travel outside this country, you're going to have an epiphany or an awakening or a eureka, a moment, because you're gonna see. And I'm quite sure, traveling man, from what I gather, he can probably say yes or nay. I don't know what his experiences are as far as his travels, but I'm quite sure he's probably traveled outside of the country. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I would think he has. I would think that he's been outside of the country and seen some things. I guarantee you that. And let's get down with this here. So how many of you seen the video with the Pope kissing the feet of the brothers from Sudan? You seen that video? I can share that with you. Yeah, the Pope, I mean, he's yeah. He's kissing the feet of like 5 different kings from Africa or Sudan, if I'm not mistaken. He's kissing their feet. I've never seen a Pope kiss anybody's feet. He's the head figure. He's the next person to God as far as Catholics are concerned. So who are these individuals, these dark-skinned black men and women? It was a woman there. Why did he walk into their presence and kiss their feet? Because the only thing most of us has ever known is that the Pope walks into a room, people usually kiss his hand. The presidents do. But who was those individuals that the Pope had to bow down to? I'm just saying, there's some stuff we need to kind of take another look at, because we get so woe asleep till we forget about what we're a part of. We forget it. You know, are we a part of something that we really don't understand what it is? Because we're playing childish games with it? Because that's what some of us do. Some of us do play childish games with it. You know, we do that. And does it hurt us? Yeah, it hurts us. I'm going to find this video of the Pope kissing the feet. Oh, okay, I see it. Yeah, okay. Oh, they are the order with the shrine and ground. Oh, wait a minute. Let me see what you. I heard about the homosexual rituals and blood sacrifices from a. Oh man, look. That's a whole nother. That's a whole nother story, Malcolm. That's a whole nother story, bruh. Let's see. All right. Let's see. I'm just catching. Let's see. All right. The Pope wanted to upside down. The Pope wanted an upside down pyramid and center on a church because of the Christian teachings. Yeah, I was buffering for a minute. I'm back. Oh man, I can't. Yeah. I don't know about that one. But Jonathan, let's get back to what you were saying. The man may have been special. It can be both ways. Okay. Okay. I can't doubt that, but I gotta find that video again because it was just interesting. You know, in my lifetime, I've never seen that happen. I've seen most people walk into the presence of the Pope and have kissed the hand of the Pope. I've always seen that. But to see the Pope to kiss the feet of other individuals, I've never seen it. I've seen them wash their feet, but to kiss the feet, that's deep. Brother Lewis went on the esoteric side of things. Well, we're gonna see. We're gonna see, because I gotta find that. Call me tonight, 619-286-0642. If you want to call in, you certainly can do so. And let's see what we got, because I gotta find that video and see what it says. See, I think Pope kissing the feet. Nope. Oh, I got Pope kissing the Quran. Nope, don't want that one. Let's see if this is going to be it. Yeah, I think I got it right here. Tonight. So, if you can see right here, check it out.
The retreat was an idea of the leader of the Anglican Church, Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby. He was also present at the retreat with the two leaders in conflict. The Pope offered his house, Santa Marta, as the venue for this meeting, which sought to go beyond a purely diplomatic dimension.
Now you've seen that part, right?
Transitional government and members of the Council of Churches from the country also participated. Without breaking.
Let's see. Here's the other part. Now I'm just saying, you can see this for yourself. Pope is a little old. He's breathing kind of heavy. call it weird, bro. I'm just saying. This is the hey. Huh? Now watch this. Watch this. Call it what you want. I'm just saying. So what you think about that? I'm just saying. Who are those guys? That was my question. Who were those guys? I'm just saying. I mean, we can go anywhere with this subject, but tonight's topic is about the dark side of Freemasonry. But since the brother Malcolm wanted to come up in here with the Christian aspect of things, and I'm telling him, most of us who were Christians was initiated into it. Well, my mom was a Christian, so I became a Christian. My dad was this, and I became this. You know, the ideal is that we're going to have to start reading and finding out some things for ourselves and making our own choices based on the information we have for ourselves. But to do something just because somebody else is doing it, it may not be right for you. You have to look at things for yourself. You know, once you become a man, your mother is no longer responsible for you. She can love you, your father can love you, but they're not responsible for you anymore. You are responsible for yourself. And that's why it's important for us who are men to be men. It's good that I can still call my mom and ask her opinion. I ain't never saying don't do that. Or even ask your father for his opinion. Didn't say don't do that. But the ultimate and last decision is going to be on you. It's going to be your choice no matter what. And that's the uniqueness of the whole thing. So when we think about this thing called Freemasonry, of your own free will and choice, it is. But do we pay attention to what we say when we say our own free will and choice? Do we really pay attention to it? Or are we just talking because we want to get in? That's the thing. No, nobody really knows why he got on his knees. And they're not telling you why he got on his knees. All I'm saying is that when you think of the Pope, when I think of the Pope, I don't see the Pope getting on his knees for anybody unless he's saying a word of prayer. Period. But I've seen people come in the presence of the Pope and kiss his hand. I've seen that. I've seen the presidents, be it the Clintons, the Bushes, or the Reagans, or the Obamas, they've all kissed his hand when they was in his presence. He reaches it out and they, you know. Do I know why they do it? I don't. And I don't know why the Pope kneeled and kissed the feet of those individuals. Now, Brother Lewis hit me up on the esoteric side. You know, you may have to go back and read his comment, but he hit me up on the esoteric side. That's deep. So, the man's in the video, Q said, 357 said that they was cardinals, bishops, etc. under the Pope. I didn't know that the Pope allowed women to be bishops or cardinals. I hadn't seen that. Have anybody seen the under the Catholic Church where the lady is a bishop or a cardinal? I've known them to be nuns, but only that. Only a fool speak through the mouth of the mute. Roger that. I just told you, it's the bloodline. Oh, I didn't even see that, brother. I didn't even see it. What's up, brother? How you doing? Silent Money. Have I ever seen Mother Teresa's feet? No, I have never seen Mother Teresa's feet. I think she's about 3 feet tall, maybe even 4 feet tops. No, I've never seen her feet. If that question was for me, I don't know if anybody here have ever seen Mother Teresa's feet. Okay, that's a new edict in recent years. Really? Okay. All right, so it is male only. So those individuals may have, some of them may have been cardinals or bishops, some of them, but not all of them. That sister that was standing up there, nah, she wasn't a cardinal and she wasn't a bishop, and he kissed her feet. So there's something else going on beside what I may be thinking or anybody else may be thinking. I'm just saying. Every rite is a ritual. Every ritual is a rite of passage. Every set and jurisdiction have their own rituals that is part of their rituals. Q357, you're absolutely correct. You are absolutely correct. You are that. You are correct. I will give you that. They actually make a big deal out of her feet. I don't know why. I mean, she did a great works while she was here. She's even it has even been said that she's prayed and healed people. And yes, I do believe that prayer does heal, That's just me. However, I don't know nothing about her feet. They are looking for the lineage of Christ. That's why I won't do the DNA thing, brother. I'm just saying, man. You make a lot of sense on that one, Alex. They may be looking for the lineage of Christ. We don't know. But how are they going to find out the lineage of Christ unless they have the DNA? I don't know. Can't look for something that doesn't exist. Ooh. Why you want to go there, bruh? Why you want to go and do that? Who do the Masons pray to? Whoever your God is. That brother said, who do the Masons pray to? Whoever your God is. I don't know who the Masons pray to. I know who I pray to. I don't know who the Masons pray to. I'm just saying, the brother asked the question. Oh, Brandon, is that Brandon Bernard? Whoa, Bernard Hill? He asked, who do the Masons pray to? Whoever your God is. Around the time of Easter, Jesus washed the feet of his disciples before the crucifix was to take place. He was purified. He purified their feet for the works they were commissioned to do after his crucifixion. Bruh, you won't get that argument out of me. I've seen the Pope wash the feet of individuals. I just never seen him kiss the feet of individuals. There's a difference of washing the feet and kissing the feet. There's truly a difference. I'm just saying. I couldn't do it. The rose. Okay. Let me see. All we choose, Mr. Hall. I heard that. It's an individual about Baphomet. Oh my goodness. That goat God with breast. Ooh. If you want to consider that's a god, if you want to consider Baphomet to be a god, you can. You can. As above, so below. As above, so you can do that if you want to do it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I thought we was talking about the dark side of Freemasonry tonight. We are, but they got me all off subject. We are, bruh. We're talking about the dark side of Freemasonry because if you go back and you watch this, you will hear me talk about some of the experiences I've had with brothers from Haiti and their initiation versus the initiation that we may do here in America. See, as I've said before, we practice Americanized type of Freemasonry. We do. But when you leave outside of the boundaries of the United States, it's a bit different, and the initiation is a bit more. How would I put that? It's a lot more. I don't want to necessarily say esoteric. If you know anything about voodoo, not voodoo, but voodoo, then you can kind of see what I'm saying in regards to the initiation over in Haiti and other countries, including Africa. including Africa. I think brother Freemasonry Unlocked, he and I was going to talk about some things like that video, and he probably can break that down a lot better than I can. But yeah, definitely there are some other things that happens within Freemasonry on the dark side of Freemasonry versus what we call, oh, keep your light on. Yeah, we say it all the time. Let there be light. We say that. However, what is that dark side of Freemasonry? And I talked about it earlier. When we think of P2 Lodge, that's a dark side of Masonry. When we think about those things that are being done by Masons in high places, and you can't tell me that things don't happen in high places by Masons, period. You can't tell me that. And the reason you can, because I've seen some things that has taken place by Masons in high places. And it was only Masons that was doing it. Period. So when we look at this and people say, well, you don't really know what Masons do because you ain't at this degree, it has nothing to do with your degree. It really doesn't. It has more so to do with that brotherhood of those particular individuals who are Masons. And because they are Masons, they act accordingly. Anybody can call in tonight. We can have the conversation. 619-286-0642. Don't be afraid. I see you. I see some of you posting, but hey, if you really want to get down, make the call. Haiti initiation, the seven African powers in Yamba religion. Okay. Well, Bernard Hall, you might want to call in and break that down. Some people may not get that. So when we're talking about the dark side of Freemasonry, even though the brother brought up Baphomet, it gets a little deeper than that. I would tell you this. I would tell you to get yourself the Mogs and Dogma, and I say that only because it's one of the best esoteric books out there for a long time, and nobody has tried to revise it or to make it or whatever. It's just been out there. And I often say the Scottish Rite Volume 1 and 2 is the next two books I would get, even though some may consider that anti-masonry. The footnotes goes in depth about that particular degree. You can agree with it or you don't have to. It's just like having fish. You eat the fish and you throw out the bones. That's what I do when I read. And I think, and it's for me, I believe we all should do that. Because everything you read, you're not necessarily going to be able to grab it and understand it and hold on to. So you know what? You eat the fish, you throw the bones out because it may choke you. I'm just saying. That is something I would consider doing. So when I look at when I the dark side of Freemasonry, it's clearly saying that there are Masons in high places that do things that we wouldn't consider Masonically correct or right. But they do it. And it's based upon whatever the situation may be. And there are Masons. Because we all know at one point in time, this country, Masons were everywhere. And when I say, well, we're everywhere now, but more so then. I mean, the numbers have truly dropped for a lot of different jurisdictions for a lot of different reasons. The number has definitely dropped. And people are not necessarily knocking down the door to become Masons anymore like they once were. But it is still a great fraternity. I don't care what jurisdiction you're a part of or where you choose to go. To be a Mason is special. It is truly special. And you have to realize that it is. It is going from one place to the next place. Hello? You're gonna have to turn your volume down in the back. Hello? Yeah, I can hear you, but you're gonna turn your volume down. So as we begin to look at this thing we call Freemasonry and that dark side of Freemasonry, it also goes into astrology. You know, I know a lot of us don't like to deal in astrology. A lot of us don't like to talk about it, but Masonry goes into astrology. And if you know anything about that second degree, it deals a lot with astrology. It really does. But we don't see it from that point of view because we gloss over a lot of stuff. You know, Masonry is beautiful. Hello?
Hello,
Yes, I am.
it's Tony Hawkins.
Who am I speaking with?
It's Michael Foster. Man, you in?
Hold on a sec. I got two people on the line. So, you, the brother, you said your name was Manuel.
No, Michael Foster.
Okay, and then brother Foster.
Yes, sir.
Okay, brother Foster, what you want to talk about?
Well, I was calling in and we discussing the dark side of Masonry, and I just wanted to learn more of the dark side of Masonry. My understanding, my teaching, there really no dark side of Masonry. It's things that happen in the prehistoric history that changed things in Masonry.
I'm getting a lot of feedback and I can't really understand or hear you clearly.
Okay, well, let me call you back. I'll call you back in a second.
Okay. All right, bro, go ahead, talk to me. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead and talk to me. What you want to say?
Oh no, I wanted to ask a question.
Go for it.
Okay, I was wondering, does Freemasonry have any connection with street organizations that the first meeting between the big shot street organizations in Chicago when it was first founded was held in the Masonic Lodge? And I was wondering, was there any truth to that?
For me personally, I'm not from Chicago, so I can't vouch for that. But what I can say is this: a lot of the signs, a lot of the grips that I know that brothers who are in gangs have are very, 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 very similar to the Masonic grips and signs that we have.
Right.
I can actually say that for myself, but not being from
I
Chicago.
noticed myself with the symbolism as well.
Yes. So, and also with some of the teachings, the ideal is we deal in two different worlds. That's all that is.
Right.
You know.
I guess the teaching is more about esoteric, but that's what we're about isn't just only for Freemasons.
Yeah, Freemasonry deals a lot in esoteric. The ideal is that some of us who are Freemasons don't deal in it.
I'm pretty interested in esoteric. So I dibbling down. That's what led me to doing a little research on Freemasonry was looking at a lot of esoteric. It led me right to Freemasonic things, and it's just one of the things that I stumbled across. And I found it odd. I always find it odd, as far as the People's Nation using the Islamic symbols and the Folks Nation, using that 6-point stars. They're rivals in their war in the Midwest of the United States, and you have Muslims and Jews and rivals in the Middle East, of the world. I always found that kind of odd, and it's kind of like it just can't be by coincidence, but it's probably not a way for that answer to get explained by anybody.
Well, I would say this is that along this journey and this thing we call Freemasonry, the Order of the Eastern Star, you are going to see some weird stuff happen. Depends on your travel. You are. And the ideal is not for us to cast judgment on that jurisdiction because that's the way they do their work, as someone posted earlier. All jurisdiction rituals, some jurisdictions have their own rituals. The thing is that the thing that happens is what changes is that the grips, the signs, and the words don't change. And that's the uniqueness of Freemasonry. You still there? Oh, I think I lost that caller. So I'm gonna go ahead and hang up. I think I lost him. So If anybody else want to call in, I got two numbers open, 619-286-0642. If you want to call in tonight, I appreciate it. So you help me out. I mean, did I lose anybody along the way? Is what I'm saying has any truth to it? Because, you know, the thing is for each individual to go ahead and search for themselves and find out if what I'm saying is true or not. And I believe, as a matter of fact, I know that you're going to find out some of the things I've said is right on. You know, I'm not trying to be perfect in no shape, but I'm just saying that Freemasonry has a dark side to it, and it's about those who have the energy, you know, not the good and the bad, but the energy that Freemasonry brings along. When you're able to capitalize on it and use it, Brother Lewis, and I know that he and I have been talking. We hadn't talked in a little while, but I know that he's been doing some in-depth research on Masonry from a whole nother point of view. And he shared some information with me that really have made me think. So the same goes here. Do some more reading on Masonry. It will make you think. You know, only thing I say is when you go down a rabbit hole, please leave some breadcrumbs to find your way back. Because there's going to be some things that make you shake your head. They're going to make you think. And it's just what it is. Freemasonry is nothing to play with. I know a lot of us like to have fun. You know, we got the catechism, we got all of that. But the true essence of Freemasonry is it is not to be played with. It's not for a individual to come in and try to throw it upside down. You know, to try to destroy it, to try to do other stuff with it. Freemasonry is meant to actually help a person along their journey in life. And along that journey, you need to have companions, and you need to have individuals who's willing to fight for you along that journey. If you know what I mean, if you're a Knights Templar, you know exactly what I'm saying. And not only do you need the companions, you need those individuals who's willing to walk that walk with you. You know, this is why it's important in Freemasonry when we say that you have been raised, you know, from a dead level to a living perpendicular. When you've been raised, you understand the process. You should understand the process. You know, in my jurisdiction, once you become a Master Mason, you're not allowed to wear any Masonic jewelry for almost a whole year. You need to understand what you're a part of before we go any further. Hello? Yeah, hold on a second. All right, who do I have the pleasure of speaking with? Say again?
Hey, I said, John, hey, I'm not a Freemason, but since we're talking about the dark side, of Masonry.
Yeah, it is. Hold on, okay?
Okay. All right.
No. All right, I got two individuals on the line. Brother, you were speaking first. Go ahead.
All right, since we're talking about the dark side of Masonry, what is really the dark side of Masonry? If Masonry is such, you know what I'm saying, supposed to be in place of a divine purpose, why is there a dark side to something divine? You get what I'm saying?
Who said that Masonry was supposed to be helping to build the kingdom of heaven on earth?
So what is the purpose of Masonry?
No, I'm listening. You said that Masonry was supposed to be helping to build the kingdom of heaven on earth. And I'd like to know where'd you read that at so I can go get the book.
Well, if you ever look at Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam, that's what the Nation of Islam teaches. And a Shriner is called a Muslim son. If, you know, when you get up in degrees, see, I learned about Freemasonry because Freemasonry only teach you 33 degrees, but Islam teaches you 360.
Okay. I'm listening.
Okay, so if we learn the 360 degrees, we also learn the 33 degrees within those 360 degrees. So a shrine is called the Muslim Sun, and the secret was us, the black man and woman of America. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So if we know this secret, why are we not And I mean, why are the Masons, the black Masons like yourself and other black men and women who are Masons, not helping build the kingdom of heaven on earth?
Because the kingdom of heaven is within. It is not. It is not that a group helps to build the kingdom of heaven. That's your journey. If you're searching for heaven, you need to look first within, and then whatever you have within is going to explore without. See, if you have no money in your life, and you still trying to give people things, and you have nothing but your time and your energy, and you doing these things when you have no money. When you get a lot of money, you will still do the same thing. But if you have no money, you're an ass now. When you get a lot of money, you're gonna be a bigger ass. So the process is for you, who we speak of as far as the kingdom of heaven being within, that's going to exhibit itself on the outside. So if I want to see you be successful, I'm going to help you be successful. It's not a group thing. It's an individual thing. So in Freemasonry, we say follow your guide and fear no danger. See, and for those who have been initiated know exactly what I'm saying. So when you do that, it's not a group thing. It's an individual journey.
Right. So if it's an individual journey and everybody trying to achieve greatness and good, as everybody saying Freemasonry, see, this the only thing that's been stopping me from joining Freemasonry, because I feel, like you said, there is a dark side, and I'm trying to achieve greatness and follow my divine purpose. And I wouldn't want to join an order that has a dark side to it, because that's not what I'm about.
Who said you had to go down that road? What I'm telling you what I'm saying is this: as above, so below. Anything you put your energy into is going to be either negative or positive. So if I'm a thug and I become a Mason, unless I actually begin to practice the tenets of Freemasonry, I'm going to remain a thug. They're just like most people who become a member of the Nation of Islam. You see the very change that they want you to see. They're no longer thugging, or they shouldn't be. See, so that dark side, before they became a part of the Nation of Islam, they was thugging. They was doing all sorts of things. See, everybody need a warrior. It's cool to be nice, but everybody needs a warrior. And I'll tell you this: if something ever pop off, don't think that the nations don't have some warriors on their side.
Right, because we do. We got an army.
I'm just saying, that's that dark side of thing. Everybody ain't nice and sweet.
Right, I get it.
That's what I'm saying. So when I say the dark side, I'm just saying that in Freemasonry, there are people in high places. There are people in places who are Masons, groups of them. They do whatever they do to make it happen. That's what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying. So this is what I'm saying. If, like, black Freemasons as yourself know the secret, which is us, aka the Hiram Abiff, as they say. You know what I'm saying? We are the Hiram Abiff. Why are you as a Mason who have the divine knowledge not putting other people out here in these streets on game about who we are and what time it is in the Revelations and where we are in the Bibles and the chapters?
Because everybody don't want to be saved.
But you got to give everybody the opportunity.
I never said. Hey, you come on your own free will and accord. It's up to you. I can say, the old saying, you can take a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it. I can tell you all about the great things Masons do, but it's up to you to follow that path. It's totally up to you. Now, me personally, I go to church on Sundays, and I leave church and I go down to the mosque. And people have yet to figure out, how are you doing that? You're a Christian and you go to the mosque? I'm not mad at the messenger at all. See, people have a problem with the messenger. I don't.
Right.
So
Farrakhan is the messenger.
He is. I never said that he wasn't a messenger. But the problem that we have is that most people see that, and you say that, most people will say, what, he's a messenger? Yeah, if you listen to him.
You better know it, because he's the most feared and respected man on the planet.
So So when I say the dark side of Freemasonry, I'm just saying for those who take the energy that Freemasonry has and flip it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. So if you're going to make that journey and become a Mason, just be ready to understand that everybody ain't on that same journey that you on, brother.
Right, because you do have good and bad people in every organization, because positive and negative exists everywhere. I do understand that.
Everywhere. So just don't be surprised. But in the process of becoming a Mason, understand that your job as a Mason is to illustrate what it is to be a man. Just like if I was a Muslim, my job is to demonstrate what it is to be a Muslim. See, I know a lot of Christians, but do they carry themselves as such?
No.
You know?
Right.
So it's
Right.
you know, so you have, when you're in that thing, you have to exemplify the very thing that you say you are.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to convey and get across. And the same way they do things here as a Muslim is not done overseas that way.
Right, because we got the divine law and the divine word from the Creator Himself, the black man and woman in America, because we are the lost children of Israel. But no one gonna believe us till it's too late.
I'm just, hey, well, it seems like you and I are on the same page.
Right.
All right, hold on just a second. I got a second caller. Go ahead, second caller.
Hello, is this me?
Yeah, you up.
Okay, brother. My name is Eric. I'm calling from Trent, New Jersey.
All right, welcome aboard, Eric.
And, I'm just scrolling on YouTube, and I happen to come across this channel, and I'm listening, and it's very interesting. I just want to add on to it, and I'm not going to take a lot of time. I promise you.
All right, go for it.
Okay. Now, I just want to say, first, I'm not a Mason.
Okay.
And, but I know a lot of Masons, and I know about Masonry, and one thing I know for sure is that as far as there being a dark side, there's a dark side in everything. You know, there's good and bad in everything. But as far as like the conspiracy talk that we've been hearing for years about how Masons are this evil organization that controls the world, that's like the opposite of what it really is. And as far as situations where you have like juries of people and like 80% of the jury is Masons or whatever, that's a coincidence. You know, people take certain snippets of information and magnify it and make it seem like all Masons are down with this this scheme to take over the planet. When I've met Masons.
That's true. I will agree with you.
Can you hear me, bro?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I've met Masons in the Nation of Islam. I've met Masons in the Moorish Science Temple. I've met Masons in church, and I've met Masons who were homeless and on drugs on the street and asked me for $1. So there's no scheme to take over the world. It just so happens that Masons, they work together like men are supposed to do. It's like when in this world, when you do the right thing, people hate you, and then they love the people that do the wrong thing. When you demonstrate what men are supposed to do, people talk about you. Look, you know how many people have been fed by the Masons and the Eastern Stars?
I do.
They have to pay for a meal. People have been clothed. People have had their rent paid, and also by religious organizations. You know, you have to study and you have to learn. There's a lot of information out here, but we choose to listen to people who mislead us, rather than just go look things up. If there's Mason, look in Trenton, the mayor, our past mayor Tony Mack, he was a Mason. He went to jail for corruption. You don't think the judge might have been a Mason? The prosecutor might have been Mason? Sure, but they took an oath to the state of New Jersey to uphold the law.
Right.
That's what they did. So I think that in 2019, I honestly, that not to sound harsh, but I think there's a lot of mental illness going on, and a lot of people are crazy, and they are believing in a lot of nonsense when it comes to everything. everything: religion, Jesus, God, Masonry. And I think people just need to be more practical and come back down to earth and just read a book, man. Whatever you want to know is right in your library. I guarantee you, wherever you live, there's at least 2 libraries with some 200-year-old books written in English that you can go read for free. And people just don't read no more. And I kind of blame that on technology. People don't read. They listen to conspiracy theorists who are asking them for donations so that they can go on a cruise to Bermuda, man. Like, people are so misled. And it's good that people like you have a channel where you can some practicality. You know, that's pretty much all I want to say.
Well, I appreciate you calling in, and I can agree with you on that. And as Brother Fitzgerald just said, Masons are not trying to take over the world. We're not. But what I try to do on this channel is just to open it up and let people see the Masonry for what it is. This is not about your jurisdiction. This is just about Freemasonry, period. You know, and what we try to do.
I'm sure there's bad things that go on.
Oh, look.
That's with anything.
Absolutely.
You know, a Mason is basically a adult male who chose to join a fraternity, no different than anything else.
Okay. I would say this. I think that the fraternity of Masonry is different than anything else. I would say that.
I'm sure it is, but I'm saying as far as you being a Mason, as you chose to be a Mason.
Yes.
Like a person chooses to be in any other organization. It is an organization.
On that. You don't get no kickback from this horse. None at all. And where you calling from, friend?
I'm calling from Trent, New Jersey.
Oh man, it's late there, huh?
A little bit. It's like midnight.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you calling in and thanks for tuning in. Subscribe to the show, and one day you might want to consider being a Mason.
I think I'm too old.
How old are you?
35.
Oh no, no. Why is that?
Because like I stated, I know a lot of Masons. I know a lot about it, and at the same time, I don't know nothing about it. If that makes sense.
It makes sense. This is why I'm saying that it probably would be not just to your advantage, but to be initiated a Mason is different than talking to people who are a Mason. We can talk all day, but to be a Mason and experience that process is the bond that you're going to see, and it's going to be a little bit different than anything that you experience.
Now, just a very quick question. Because I'm a black male, would I have to only go to a certain lodge? If I did want to be a Mason, would I only have to go to a certain place because I'm black?
I mean, right now you can go join a white lodge if you choose to. Now they may not teach the esoteric like some black lodges do, but you can go there. You can go to Prince Hall. You can go to a John G. Jones, Modern Free, International. For me, I don't care. I prefer that when a person becomes a Mason, that they practice the tenets of a Mason and enjoy the rights and privileges of a Mason. That's me. Now, you may have some other people out there that may say, no, you don't want to do this. You don't want to go here. You don't want to go there. But that's them. I tell anybody, if you're going to join Freemason, go where you're going to be celebrated and appreciated and not tolerated. That's me. Did I lose you?
No, I'm listening to you.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just saying that's what I tell individuals who are looking to become a Mason.
Now, are there qualifications, and are there any financial qualifications?
There is. I mean, you must be a free man, well recommended, of lawful age. And also, there is a financial obligation. Some lodges pay $10 a month for their dues. Some pay $25. Some pay $150 a year. It just depends. I tell you what, take this number down. Okay, 619-985-1184. That's my personal cell number. I've given it out on air before. So call that number later tonight after the show, because it's still kind of early on my side, or just give me a text tomorrow and tell me who you are, and I get back with you and we can have that conversation.
Okay, that number that's the number that you posted in the chat, right?
That is that number.
Okay.
All right, text me before you call, so I'll make sure I'm able to answer at the time, and just give me a brief reminder of the conversation.
All right, I'll do that.
Okay?
Yes.
All right, I appreciate you.
I'll keep listening too, because this is a good show, man. I'm watching Golden State right now, and I'm listening to you. And
Hey, who's winning the game?
Say it again, brother.
Who's winning the game?
Oh, Golden State. It's halftime. Golden State is up, I think, by like 20.
Damn. Oh.
They doing it right now.
Ooh. All right, well, I appreciate you calling in. We're going to get right back to things.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, peace to you, my brother. So to anybody else, I got both lines that still open. We're going to be online for a little while longer. So when we think of the dark side of Freemasonry, it's just those things that individuals do. And I'm not going to even say individuals. I'm going to put it to you like this. There are lodges. There are lodges that have members who are part of how do I want to put it? There are lodges that have people who are part of, or who have government jobs, put it like that. And they are councilmen, they are congressmen, they are senators, and only they are a part of that lodge. There are lodges out there like that. Fitzgerald, you're part of mainstream. Talk back to me. Come on, you can talk back to me on that one. From the book of oh, okay. It's too late. I mean, I'm trying to get into your conversation. But for those of you who know, there are lodges out there that's like that. And if they want something to happen and they want to get something moving, they have the power because of their jobs to get it done. It's just what it is. That's truth. You know? So look, I'm not going to hold you long. I'm going to go ahead and log off tonight. I appreciate you coming on and joining me. I really do. Thank you very much. And if there's a topic that you want to discuss or have, just definitely let me know and we can have that conversation. It's really open and I really appreciate it. But do me a favor, gentlemen. Check out and sisters who are on tonight. Look up P2 Lodge. Look that up. It's called P2 Lodge. If I'm not mistaken, it was a Masonic lodge over in Italy. And they were supposed to be a clandestine lodge. Supposed to have been. They was only clandestine when they got caught. Then the Grand Lodge wanted to deny that they knew anything about it. But check that lodge out. It'll really make you think. It will. Oh, okay, Brother Alexander. I'm sorry, bro. No, I thought you was part of mainstream. Oh, I was thinking of the Traveling Man. My fault. I appreciate you correcting me on that. Thank you. So I want to just once again thank everybody for tuning in and hope you enjoyed the show. Until next time, as always, keep your light on and stay out the bushes. And if I'm going to be up for about another 15, 20 minutes. If someone want to give me a call tonight, we can have that conversation. That number is 619-985-1184. After I get off the show, I'll be up for a little while longer. And if you want to give a call, you certainly can do that. And we can have a conversation if you choose to. So I'm going to say God bless and peace. And whatever you do, find some rest tonight. Yes, research P2 Lodge. And then you can talk to me about some crazy stuff. That's for sure. So good night, everybody. And be well. Peace.